Welcome back to the channel. My name is Jake Passes, here for another total body workout. 9 movements that are going to be isolating, really taxing one side of the body at a time. It's going to cause us to engage our core. Very good stuff, very great for muscle building. Whenever we do single-sided workouts, a couple things I want you guys to focus on, which are going to be future video topics. Your breath. Make sure you're always exhaling into the contraction of the movement. And not only that, your negative of the movement is important as well. So make sure you are concentrating on the release of the movement. Really want to have control of that weight. And yes, since the exercise is single-sided loaded, whether it comes to legs or the upper body, I definitely want you guys to be thoroughly warmed up before you execute this workout. First, let's start off with that single arm pull-up. Now we're hinging at the hips. Our chest is aimed towards the anchor point. We're going to corkscrew that hand in, palm facing the face. Have that elbow aimed towards the side. Now another alternation to do this is on the ground in Superman position. You can still get that supination of the wrist. If you don't, you can also keep that palm down and work the lat. The elbow's going to go more towards the side. Make sure you exhale on each contraction. Now this next one's going to require some kind of padding on the edge of your elevated surface. Next one's going to be our Bulgarian split squat. For this movement, I'm going to show you 2 ways to get into it. This is the first way. You can get your footing on the elevated surface first. Then make sure you're nice and square towards the wall. Find proper wrist positioning here. You don't want to torque those wrists. You want to keep them neutral. Okay, make sure that resistance band is placed between the ball of the foot and the heel. That way, yes, we are driving through the heel, but we're also keeping contact with from our pinky toe to the big toe there. So really get that squeeze of glute at the top. Here's another angle. Another entry in. Notice how I found my footing on the ground first, and then I use the elevated foot. This is my preferred method. And notice the glute engagement at the top of the movement there. Really squeeze and drive that foot into that padding on the elevated surface. Next one we have is our bicep sequence. We're going to start off with our wide curl. Keep those elbows pinched to the side, shoulders rolled back, head in good neutral position. And we can ISO it. Doing about 6 reps each side. And this is one continuous movement. We're going from those doubles to the singles, and we're going back to the doubles here. Alternating style. And then we repeat that sequence 3 total times. Try to get that pinky towards the shoulder there. Really turn that wrist in supination. For this box push-up, I recommend a step, probably about half the size of what I've got going on here. Exhale on the touch. Really get that shoulder squeeze. You want the retraction at the bottom of the movement, protraction at the top. This one is a chest killer. You can also do this one from your knees and then go to plank position and then drive back up. There's variations here. And everything in between those 2 moves. You can stay on your knees the whole time. You don't necessarily have to lift that foot off the hand off the box. Now this next one is the opposite toe reach. All I'm looking for is a contraction of those abs. Put that inner elbow towards the center line and touch the opposite foot. Now, a progression in this movement is to extend those legs up and then do the opposite toe touch. Really making sure the small of our back is making contact with that box. This movement can also be done on the ground, but you won't get as much range of motion there, as much stretch. Now this next movement, you want to use this as an anchor point. I am using the corner of my coffee table here. One thing I am definitely making sure of is that it bisects my body here. The anchor point goes right down the center line of me. That way I know I'm getting equal. This next one, we're going to work into our plank position. Make sure that resistance band is nice and tight to our anchor point. We don't want to start off with loose bands. We want to maintain that contraction in the lats. I'm starting off with these doing cross bodies. This is an option for you. You can also go straight arm down to the hip. And you can also eventually extend those beyond the hip on each side. You'll notice, you'll feel it in the long head of the tricep, not only to keep you in that plank position, but to maintain that shoulder blade. This next movement we have is a squat to calf raise. This one, I want you finding that squat, then lock that position. Try to hit that 90-degree in that squat, or just as close as you can to it. Notice I'm not even at it right now. Find that nice rack position and then engage those calves. Here's another alternate that Emily is doing, and George is going to be making his appearance too. So she's finding her squat position using a TRX or any kind of strap. You can even use a bed sheet against the wall. But she's doing other variations of this movement as well. So we have just holding that squat and just doing these calf raises, as well as the full movement where you're going to squat to calf raise, back up, then down to your squat, calf raise, and then back up. Next move is going to be an active plank. Maybe inside plank, on your knees plank, whether you're in push-up position as well. You can be varying through all these different planks, and I want you to time it. Try to go anywhere from 1 minute to 3 minutes. Just make sure you get those glutes engaged, those abs tucked nice and tight, and make sure you're not rocking your body too much between movements. You can also go into a Superman plank too.
So have fun with that one.
Let me know what you guys think of the video. Make sure you guys get a good stretch afterwards. Use that lower body inventory stretch. You guys have an upper body inventory stretch to look forward to. That'll be coming up soon. Talk to you guys in the next video.